everyone, it's Jay the Nerd here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button down below to get all the nerdy content you'll ever need every Wednesday and Saturday. And today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects, my favorite ships. Now if you don't know what shipping is, it's basically when you want two fictional characters to get together. It's couples that you love. And I'm going to make it very clear here. There's a lot of toxicity in the shipping fan fiction community where they are so aggressive about their ships that they bombard and hassle the creators of that media. For me, my ships are just something fun through a fan fiction standpoint. Yes, it would be really cool if those ships existed on the show itself, but I still enjoy these shows regardless of if those things are canon, and I can separate loving that ship and that fan fiction from the actual work itself. There have been a lot of problems, for example, with the Zuko and Katara ship for Avatar, where the creators were absolutely bullied and harassed because they weren't going to put Zuko and Katara together in Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I think that's wrong, because the people that create that thing get to decide creatively what they want to do with the characters, and go love it yourself in those fan fictions. You can still love it. But anyways, I wanted to make that clear, that like I love these ships, but in no way do I feel like the creators of these shows or whatever are under any obligation to make these things canon. I just enjoy reading fan fiction about them because I think the characters have good chemistry together. Anyway. So my number one ship of all time, and these are only to be my four favorites, which are ones that I am consistently in love with lately. I always have, like, I will watch something and be like, oh, that's cute, and I'll read some fan fiction of it for a while, and then I kind of drop it for a while. But these are like the number one top four ones that I'm consistently obsessed with right now. And number one is Bakudeku, which is Bakugo and Deku from My Hero Academia. Now, I've many reasons why this is my favorite ship, but the number one is that they were childhood best friends, and they've always had a fondness for each other, and they kind of fell off being friends because Bakugo, if you know My Hero Academia, kind of got a big head about, you know, having one of the most powerful quirks around the kids his age, and he got praised a lot for them, and it got to his head. And there's a moment when they were little kids when Deku tried to help Bakugo up when he fell, and Bakugo saw that as Deku thinking that he was better than Bakugo, and it was all this pride, arrogance, misunderstanding getting in the way of their friendship, and they kind of stopped being friends for a long time. But Deku never stopped holding his fondness and admiration for Bakugo, and I personally think vice versa. It was all a big misunderstanding, and they have since, in the anime and especially the manga, worked out their differences and are becoming closer and closer with each chapter. And I just love this kind of like rivals to lovers dynamic thing that they have going. I personally think that they are in love with each other in the anime and the manga. I don't think anything will ever come out of it because, unfortunately, in a lot of anime and manga, there's a lot of queer baiting, but I won't get into that today. But nonetheless, I enjoy it in the fan fiction so much, and I think that they have such amazing chemistry together. And I love this idea that like two people are just so magnetically connected. There's such an intense connection, but neither of them will admit it for their own pride, arrogance reasons, because everyone thinks that Bakugo's the only bad guy, but Deku has had some shortcomings when it comes to his relationship with Bakugo as well. Doesn't excuse the bullying that Bakugo did, but anyways, I just love the whole like rivals to lovers dynamic that they have, and it's become very obvious how much Bakugo cares about Deku, even when he won't admit it. And I love, my favorite characters are always the kind who seem mean and cold and quiet. Well, Bakugo's not quiet. Mean and cold on the outside, and then when you get to know them, they soften around you. And I think that Bakugo is starting to soften around Deku, and he's the one person that he would do that for. And I could go on and on and on about why I love them as a ship, but that is what I have to say about that. And my second one is Destiel, which is Dean and Castiel from Supernatural. That's a very popular ship. It basically was like the king ship of the Supernatural fandom. And it essentially did become canon, spoilers for Supernatural, because Castiel, right before he died, confessed his love for Dean, said that he loved him. And everyone was upset that Dean didn't respond back, but if you know literally anything about Dean as a character, you know that he takes a long time to process his emotions and feelings, and he's not good with that. And I personally think that if he was given enough time to sort out his feelings, that he would feel the exact same way for Cass. And I kind of hope, because Cass was brought back to heaven and Dean is in heaven now, that maybe they can work their relationship out in heaven and Dean can finally admit his feelings for Cass. But that is the rare ship out of all of these that is pretty much canon, and so that's great. And they work so well together with their personalities, and they're just adorable, and I could go on and on. My next one is Akechi and Joker from Persona 5. Now, that's another enemies to lovers thing, but this is like legit enemies. With Bakugo and Deku, it's like just rivals. But with this, the legit enemies, because, spoilers, Persona 5, Akechi is the bad guy, it turns out, in Persona 5. But it is much more complicated than that. Akechi is my favorite Persona 5 character forever and always, because he's a very complicated bad guy. Everything that he's ever done is because he wanted to get his father's attention and wanted to prove his worth to his father, and then ultimately destroy his father because his father is a piece of garbage. And that he really isn't as crazy and unfeeling and bad as he really thinks that he is. He just was suffering and wanted to be loved and needed and noticed, and Joker noticed him, and they had a special bond, because Joker, even when Joker knew that Akechi was a bad guy, he never stopped paying attention to Akechi, never stopped like wanting to see the best in him. And even after the whole thing goes down where Akechi is assumed dead, Joker still thinks about him, still cares about him. His one wish was for Akechi to still be alive, which to me says a whole heck of a lot. And you can just say that they are best friends or whatever, but I think that they love each other very deeply. And then my last one is Levihan, which is Levi and Hanji from Attack on Titan. Levi's whole sexuality is very much kind of up in the air with in the manga and the anime and everything, though the creator of Attack on Titan has said that Levi did have romantic feelings for Erwin, and so a lot of people assumed that Levi is gay, but no one has ever said for sure, and I think with Levi as a person, it's much more likely that he is bi or pan. Obviously, I'm not trying to determine anything canonically with Levi, because no one's ever said, and I honestly don't think Levi really gives a shit that much about romantic relationships right now, because he has a lot going on. But personally, I get the bisexual or pansexual vibe from him, and I super ship him with Hanji. Hanji is amazing. I love them so much. I'm saying them because a lot of people have said that it is very likely that Hanji is non-binary, so I'm going to respect that and say them. But anyways, Hanji and Levi's relationship is just so cute, and like Levi is a hard egg to crack, but when people do get through, he cares for them very deeply, and Hanji is definitely one of those people. And I love the idea of like someone as goofy and ridiculous and loud as Hanji being with someone as quiet and cold and like Levi. I just think it's adorable, and I love that Levi is the one person who could put up with Hanji's bullshit and silliness, and I love that Hanji's the one person that can make Levi laugh and smile, and I just think they're really cute. And yeah, so those are my top 4 ships. I obviously have a lot more, but those are the ones that are currently in my heart the most right now. And I will see you on Wednesday. Bye.